Welcome back to the Ruby Tuesday. We've got another Netflix original movie called Notes for My Son. A woman with terminal cancer decides to keep a notebook full of musings on her life and love for her toddler son to read after she dies. It's actually based on the award-winning book that she wrote to her son after she died, and this book was released and has been turned into a film subsequently. What I like about this film, just from the outset, is that it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's not one of these harrowing films, and it is harrowing in places, that drags on for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. No, this is an hour and a half, I think, hour 37 minutes, and it's just the right amount of time for this. I do feel like it's been transposed to this, the film version from the book really well. It's an interesting character study because there's a lot of films like this that just go down the really, really dark path, but doesn't really celebrate the life of the person either. And so where you see this mother write notes for her child, for her future child, I thought it was really precious, and you get to see her celebrating moments that she can't have with her son. So while it's sad and it is harrowing, you see the stages as she degrades as a person, as there's nothing more she can do. There's also ethical conundrums, because this is a place where you can perhaps have euthanasia. It's that kind of ethical conundrum. You also see how she deals with her issues between her partner, her son, and her friends. And it was really nice to see someone that is going through this, that has a loving friendship base, deal with all of this. So you get all different types of characters that are dealing with the loss of their friends, or soon to be the loss of a friend, and they see her break down. They see her how she handles this. One of the most intriguing parts for me was how she speaks about who she is or what she's going through with cancer, texting to the world, just kind of letting letting everybody know the real version of her, exactly what she's going through, from her joy to anger to sadness. She just kind of shows it as it is. There's no real face, and I thought that was quite refreshing. And so she kind of puts all of her thoughts and processes on in a book for her future son, and that I thought was done well. The actor as well, the protagonist that we have, I thought she did a phenomenal job at kind of seeing the stages of this cancer that she goes through, and the character that she obviously was. In reflection, we see that she's full of life, but she was very real, and you get that. It feels like you are a friend in this hospital room going through this traumatic event. And so I have to say, even though it's pretty much in one location, it's very rarely even outside of the room, mostly in the hospital, and maybe a few, kind of flashes of what could be, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it's in this hospital room. And it's still very interesting. The way it's filmed is kind of standard, but it all looks fantastic. I think it's definitely down to the cast. So we have our main protagonist, but the quirky friendships that she has with her friends, you really do feel like you are on this journey with them. And so at times you will feel quite sad, at times you will feel like you can't handle it, and then there's a little bit of levity from a character that is like one of her funny friends. It does help that our protagonist is genuinely funny. She just loves to laugh, she loves joy, and that is expressed in her personality. So I think that helps to to alleviate some of the depression and the darkness that does come from this sort of film, because it is a film about somebody dying from cancer, and that's not something I would normally click on to watch. But sometimes you want to get to a bit of a meaty story, something that has heart and depth through it, and this film definitely has it. But I will say it is continuous. It's a downslope, although it's a character study and it's a celebration of this woman's life, and the idea of, as this book for her son in the future is present. You are on this journey consistently. There is no like happy ending really, so that she's going to die. That there's nothing you can do for it, and that's hard to swallow. But the whole premise of this film is really that death is an inevitability, and you kind of have to accept it as a human. So it kind of looks at that as a theme, and I think it does it really well. But it is hard. It is a hard pill to swallow, because I think everybody who watching this would be like, oh, why can't you just try something else or do something else? And when someone's decided, no, there is nothing else, and you have to just go with them on their decision they made and see where that journey takes them. And this case, it's death. And so while you're watching it, there's always this foreboding doom. and so that can be quite hard to watch. If you've lost someone to cancer, this maybe isn't the right film for you, or if it's been really soon, because I think everybody at this point knows somebody that dies of cancer. Cancer is everywhere. It's not a happy film, but it does have happy moments, if that makes sense. I thought the really young kid, he was really good. I thought everybody was really good, but definitely the standout is our protagonist. The different variations of cancer that she goes through, as it degrades her body, you see it, and her personality is reflected in that, and I thought she holds screen very well. She has great screen presence. So I thought it was a very interesting story. Let me know in the comments below, have you heard of this? Are you going to give it a go? Are you going to try it? I watched it with subtitles. I think that's always the way to go, so if you can, watch it in the original language and read the subtitles. Thanks so much for watching this. I'm definitely going to give this a B+. Chat to me in the comments, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.